Ethereum holders and crypto holders in general are panicking at the moment in the crypto markets, and that is because we've had this big push towards the downside, in which case we always get more and more fear entering the market. But what we get up here is a lot of greed and fear down here, and it's our human psychology that we want to buy into the greed and we want to sell the fear, which when you look at it like this seems like a really stupid idea. So what we're going to look at in today's episode is whether people should be scared to be in Ethereum right now, whether Ethereum is going to go much lower, if it does go lower, how much further, and what is the way out for Ethereum. So on the daily chart, guys, you can see that this is part of a pattern that started all the way back in the beginning of May last year, where we've had these ups and downs and the moving between these two key lines. But what is most significant is that we did find this level of support here. We have bounced back towards the upside, but we have been stiffly rejected. This is looking at Fibonacci on the 0.382 level here, and we were pushed back down. We didn't find support at this 0.236, and it does look like we could well be slipping further towards the downside. If we look at this pattern here, guys, we have this key descending pattern, and this ultimately is a bullish pattern. I brought you a video before that said if we could make it up here, we would break out, and if we were to break out, we would push towards the upside. But notice we were rejected here and pushed back into this pattern. So ultimately, what's going to happen in the next sort of 24 to 48 hours is extremely significant for the Ethereum price, because if we are unable to break back beyond the 0.236, which does coincide with this yellow line here, that we are going to push back down towards this level, which is at around the $2,300 level, in my opinion. So right now, the next 24 hours, we have two scenarios, and yes, one can go up, one can go down. We need to wait and see what's going to happen. If we are unable to break this yellow line, we are going to push to the bottom of here, and if we can manage to break through it, we will break beyond that. But actually, those two scenarios are pretty good, because if we're able to break beyond this level here and the 0.302 where we failed to before, then we'll have a perfect reverse head and shoulders pattern, which will ultimately move us back up towards the 0.618 and ultimately stop this downward trend and bring us into a more bullish and aggressive trend. And in my opinion, that will indicate that we are heading back towards these levels at all-time highs of around $5,358, which in my opinion could well be the all-time high for Ethereum that stands for the next year or so. Because I think ultimately this is a bearish pattern, guys, and eventually we are going to have to come down and push towards the downside. In the same way that these falling patterns become bullish, these rising patterns become bearish. Okay, not every single time, but a lot of the time. Now, looking back to what happened before when we came up to this level, we pushed down aggressively, then came back up, and then we put in this W, okay? Here you can see we have pushed down, not quite as aggressively, but we've come up, and now potentially, if we come down, we could be looking at something like this, or we could just come down for one bounce and have this as a W pattern here. So yeah, there's a variety of different scenarios, but what is key is right now, in the next 24 to 48 hours, we are going to be forced into a decision point. And actually for me, because we've got so much negativity, so much fear across the Ethereum market, the Ethereum news, the Bitcoin market and Bitcoin news, that tells me that we are actually about to see a reversal and things are looking a bit more positive. Because when you see a lot of negative sentiment in the market, actually indicates that we're probably going to be coming up, and vice versa. When you see a lot of positive stuff coming through, that usually indicates that we could well be coming down for some sort of a retest, because no one's really expecting it. The market does exactly the opposite of what everyone is expecting all the time. And if we can call the opposite, then we are going to be in a good position. So ultimately, if we do come down towards the downside, in my opinion, we're not due to break out of the bottom of this pattern. $2,300 is a fantastic buying opportunity, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, so go away and do your own research on the Ethereum price and what you're prepared to pay for it. If, however, we break beyond this yellow line and we can break beyond the $2,950 level and hold above it, then we're going to push earlier. Okay, so scenario A is push here, scenario B is push like this. But ultimately, Ethereum is still looking great. This would be a fairly sizable dip towards the downside, but it will give us a better opportunity to get in and target these levels up around the $5,300 level. Guys, let me know now below whether you think Ethereum is due to have a cool off to around the $2,300 level for better prices, or we're going to continue to push back towards the upside. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and if you are new to the channel, then subscribe for the latest Ethereum updates as well as other cryptos. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon in another video.